Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead, my friends. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Let's find out what's going on. We're going to use some oracles this time. We're also going to use the archetypes deck, and we're going to find out what is going on. Let's figure out what's going on for Taurus. If you're brand new here, welcome. A lot of you came in the door last night. Probably around 300 of you showed up last night. So if you're brand new to the tribe, then please say hello in the comments. I would love to talk to you in the comments. Okay, card is already out. Stop with the blah blah. Let's go. We've got the child orphan, but we've got it in the reverse here. It says the shadow attributes of the child orphan. It says feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. So seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So it does feel like that might be an issue here for somebody, that there is somebody here who feels like they've been left behind from their family possibly. Feelings of abandonment could mean that you have a father wound or a mother wound, right? And it stifles maturation. So sometimes when we do have a significant trauma in our past, in this life, sometimes it stops us or stunts us in the growth period. At that point, we could be there could be someone here that I'm connecting with that is dealing with that sort of energy. Now, unfortunately, you don't really know that you have been stunted in your maturation period. Like, you don't know that you're stunted in your growth until you really do figure it out, until the third eye opens and things begin to change and you make different decisions. So you might not even know that you're in this energy, but it does say seeking inappropriate surrogate families. And sometimes that gets us into relationships, right? Relationships that don't work for us. So we're constantly looking for other people to be part of our lives because we're somebody who has been, orphaned, right? Or has a mother or father wound here. We have the storyteller at the bottom. It says the light attribute of the storyteller says the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So I feel like you are somebody who sees, I would say you see the deeper meaning in things. You see the deeper meanings in, like, you read between the lines. You're a person who can read between the lines and you see the deeper meaning in things. Like, you don't just see a ladybug on a tree leaf, right? You see that, that the tree is alive and it is growing and is offering, solace for the ladybug, what ladybugs mean, and how many dots do they have on their backs. Like, I feel like you're a person who has a spiritual mind or a spiritual eye, and you are somebody who I feel is there because you have suffered some sort of wounding in your past. In this life, it feels like a childhood wound of being left behind or having a mother or a father wound. What else do we have here? We have change. That's about to change. So somebody here is realizing that they do have that wound, because that wound will you'll have a problem through your whole life with every relationship, friendships, deep friendships, relationships, right? Love relationships. You'll always have that sort of hole in your heart that you're trying to fill. We do have change. It says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. And so I feel like somebody here is really working on this. You might be someone who is in psychology or psychiatry, or you're seeking out help for the wounds from the childhood. Bottom of the deck, we have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So the change here, I feel, is somebody is deciding to be honest with themselves. Things aren't working for me here. Things aren't working in this life the way I thought that they would work, and it's time for me to make a change. So somebody here is realizing that there may have been something back there that impacted you so much that it really did, you might feel like you're behind in life because you didn't learn the things that other people who had functional parents learned, right? What else do we have here? Tell me more about Taurus, please. Tell me more about Taurus. We do have the electric eel spirit. It says, bring your ideas to life. It's card number 24, which is a 6. So bringing your ideas to life. I feel like somebody, you know what? It feels like somebody here is about to use this energy of whatever you're changing in this orphan child wound here. I feel like you are using it. I feel like you're using it to re-up. I want to say that you are alchemizing it. You're the alchemist, and you're using the pain and you're turning it into the electric eel spirit, bringing ideas to life. So maybe you're writing a book about it. Maybe you've got a memoir going. Maybe you're a person who journals all the time and you intend on making those journals memoirs. We do have know your worth. I feel like that's what's changing, that you finally know your worth. We've got card 24 and 54. 54 is a 9. It's because you've spent some time really digging into the self. That's Hermit Energy. You spent some time by yourself, thinking about things, digging into the self. I feel like the realization you've come up with is that the things that you've been through in this life possibly might be things that could make you money down the road. Like, I feel like you feel that you have such a story that you should write a book, or that you should write some sort of a memoir here. What else do we have? One more card and then we'll get to tarot. Tell me more. We have the throat chakra. Jeez, it's time to say it. You just got to say it, Taurus. This is the throat chakra. Taurus is ruled by the throat chakra. Look, Taurus has a lot of talents. Some y'all can sing. Some are, it's the voice for you, right? You're speakers. You're speakers of truth. You're people who speak up for other people. The throat chakra is ruled by Taurus, and some of you have a great voice, right? Some of you can sing. People have been telling me that all of my life, that I have a good voice, and I am a Taurus sun as well. So I feel like for some of you, it is it's something that you need to voice. We do have the crown chakra in the reverse, and I feel like the crown chakra in the reverse is telling me that it took you a long time to bring in the information, to have realizations. Crown chakra is at the top of the head. That's where you get all your downloads from the universe. And I feel because it's in the reverse here, it feels like it took some wisdom in order to open the crown chakra for you here. All right. Let's get some tarot. What's going down for Taurus, please? Tell me more about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me more about Taurus, please. Tell me more about Taurus. What does Taurus need to know for the week ahead? Taurus, my readings are always for the week ahead. If you've never been here before, my readings are always for the week ahead. So I don't put dates or times on them, but whenever you find them, they'll always be for the week ahead. Whenever you find it, today, tomorrow, or next year. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Justice. We've got the Hermit that we were just talking about over here, right? Card number 9, 54 is a 9, and 24 is a 6. So we have 6s and 9s. We're already repeating information. So it's confirmation that what we're talking about is actually the subject matter here. Tell me more. Seven of Pentacles. Chariot is at the center of the reading here, the heart of the matter. So I feel like in the very near past here, so the very near past, which is yesterday or before that, I feel like there are memories that you have. It's like somebody here needs to get justice in whatever happened in the past. And I feel like the way that you did that was you started digging into the self, or maybe digging in online. Maybe you did find a counselor, or a psychologist, or a psychiatrist, somebody that you're speaking with in this, through the laptop possibly. But somebody here, I feel like I want to say that you're someone who isn't very social. That when you go into this energy, I'm telling you, just hide yourself away for 6 months and your life will change. You will never know the old you again. Like, it will change you like you wouldn't believe. It changed me for sure. The Hermit Energy, I feel, is like you finally got justice only when you went into the Hermit Energy and you started looking at yourself and realizing that, yes, there are wounds from the past, right? That you had no control over who orphaned you. You had no control over a parent leaving the household. You had no control over any of that. But it is our responsibility to fix it in the adulthood, but only when we recognize it. And I think you've recognized it, because it looks here like somebody is ready to change. Ready to change, and you're ready to know your worth. And where you found your worth, card 54 is a 9. That's the Hermit. That's the sun. The sun is here. Look, when the sun is here, and whether it's in the reverse or not, it's still the sun. It's a realization. When the sun is in the reverse, for me, there is no growth. So it's like we're not growing, spiritually, professionally. It's like the sun is a comfortable place to be. So I want to say that you had these realizations while you were in Hermit Energy here, and I feel like now that you can see it, now you are going to try and fix it. That's what it feels like here. The Seven of Pentacles is here. I feel like you're really willing to work on the Five Pentacles. The feeling of, because when you are somebody who has a wound like that from childhood, when you have a mother or a father wound here, when you're someone who has a wound like that from childhood, you tend to live in that place of lack, right? Live in that place of lack. You feel like no one wants you around. You feel rejected. And sometimes that's really not even the situation, but it's what you're used to. And so the Seven of Pentacles tells me that I feel like you're ready to grow from the Five of Pentacles to the Seven. You're ready to put the hard work in here. I like it. And look, you're going to get the victory. It's going to take you places. You're going to be able to move from the place that you were. So I feel like there is somebody here who's really working on themselves. Taurus, I'm kind of proud of you. Good job for working, doing all that hard work. Look, all it is going to do is it's going to make your life better and the life of whoever you touch. We do have the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Lovers. Look at this. Now we have somebody showing up in the future energy here. Somebody who I feel is kind of different from you. That I feel like you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles here. You are someone who's grounded and solid. And I feel like you have made your way to the throne, even though you've been through a lot of crap. I think that's the King of Wands, right? The King of Wands is the one who's forged through fire. That is fire. Having been orphaned or having this wound that you want to try and figure out here, that is the King of Wands. They sit on the throne even though they've gone through a lot of stuff, right? They've walked through the fire. So I feel like you have walked through the fire, but look, you're looking good anyway. I'm going to say you're looking good anyway. And I want to say that at the end of all of this, Taurus, this is what you get. I feel like at the end of all of this, there is somebody who I feel is like you. Somebody who's also dealing with all of this stuff, who had to make some big, huge changes. They had to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I gotta stop being this person who is hard on me and hard on everyone around me because I'm dealing with a rejection wound. I feel like somebody here is really, really going to fix it. Or maybe you already have. We do have the Three of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. So somebody here has decided, I'm going to go get help for my heartbreak. That I'm no longer going to blame it on other people. I'm no longer going to allow it to hold me back. We've got the Knight of Swords. So you're no longer going to be held back. You're going to talk about it, right? Gemini is the chitty chatty one, right? I feel like you're going to talk about it and you're going to figure it out. I think you are. Let's get a little bit of clarification here. Find out what else is going on. So what are you working on, Taurus? The Seven of Pentacles is here. I feel like you're growing, you're nurturing the self, which tells me that you are getting help, that you are sort of looking at this Five of Pentacles on this tree here, right? This is the Seven of Pentacles, which is about throwing the seeds of intention. Look, we all have to pick a path eventually. We all have to figure out what we're doing in this adult life. And I feel like I'm speaking to a Taurus who finally threw the seeds of intention and said, this is where I'm going to grow. It's time for me to grow here. Tell me about the Seven of Pentacles. How are you going to grow, Taurus? We've got the King of Wands in the reverse. We've got the Hermit in the reverse. And we've got the Ace of Cups. I love it. I love it because it looks like that you've decided you're going to love yourself. And the Hermit energy is this realization that once you've done all of the and I mean, we're always in and out of Hermit energy, but I feel like you've spent enough time in Hermit energy. Like, I feel like you stopped running at things, the shiny things. You stopped running at the shiny things, Taurus. You stopped buying things to fill the hole in your heart. You stopped finding relationships to try and fix the hole in your heart. I think that you realized finally that you have to be the King of Wands in the reverse. You got to slow down a bit, go over some details. I feel like you had to stop crashing into other people's lives and hoping that they would heal you. I feel like you've realized that you are the person who has to heal the self, right? And I feel like with this Hermit in reverse, it tells me you've come to some sort of a realization and you've found your light. It's so beautiful, Taurus. And then the Ace of Cups appears. I really love it. We have this overflowing bunch of emotion and love for the self. And you did it, Taurus. You worked so hard on it. I think that's really beautiful. We've got the Chariot here, Cancer energy. Tell me why the Chariot is at the center. Because I feel like this whole thing, Taurus, you coming to terms with everything that happened in the past, bringing it into the present and working on it, I feel is what is giving you movement here. And victories in your life. Tell me about the Chariot, please. What do we need to know about the Chariot? We have the Six of Swords. It did definitely give you movement. Look, it pulls you out of this place of choppy waters where you couldn't control the boat, right? The thing is, this is when you don't address those things that happened back there. You just kind of shoulder them and you keep moving on, and you don't realize how much they affect you until finally you realize that you're in this choppy water and you don't know how you got there, right? So it might end up looking like a relationship that doesn't work, or a marriage that crashes, or it feels like it could be a friendship that doesn't work out. But I feel like you realized all of a sudden, I'm in the choppy waters and I got to get out of here. I got to heal the self. We got the swords that are in the boat. We got the 4 swords, which is healing, and the 2 swords, which is the decision, right? For me, when the swords are down, it's the decision has been made. So I feel like somebody here made a decision that I got to move out of this energy. I need more victory than this. I got to balance my feminine and masculine energies. We do have the Death card. It's time to stop it. I just need to stop and sort of decide that I'm going to clear the energy. That's what it is, right? It's clearing energy is what the Death card is. It's like, I want to start over. And don't think, no matter what your age is, look, I'm 56. I started over at 50. You can start over no matter what age it is. In your 70s, in your 80s, it doesn't matter. In your 30s, in your 40s, you can start over. And you can start right over from the beginning, and that's what the Death card is. We're no longer in the choppy waters. We're no longer running from things. No longer up in our heads running from things. Tell me more about the Death card. We've got the Knight of Swords, which did show up in the future here. So I feel like you're going at it aggressively, Taurus. It feels like you are going to get some sort of a victory, Taurus. That's what it feels like in the week ahead. You're going to get some sort of victory because you decided to put a stop to something. And the something was, you decided that you're no longer going to be giving and overgiving to other people in order to fill the hole in your own heart. You've decided that it's time to move forward and grow under the sun. Now, the thing is this, is I feel like you've already done a whole lot of work here. You've got Justice and the Hermit energy. You're learning lessons. You're getting wiser. I want to say like super heavily wise. And it's because of all these things that happened in the past. These are nostalgic things. These are things that happened when you were a child, right? We have a parent and a child here. And so it feels like these are all things that really impacted you that you didn't notice impacted you until you decided, I just got to say something about it, until you realized that maybe you didn't get all the information that everyone around you got. That once you got some wisdom, Taurus, once you became the Hierophant here, that's when it was time to start telling your story, right? Being the storyteller. It says here, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Maybe you became a tarot reader. Maybe you became somebody who found a way to explain it all in order to heal the self, to heal this wound that you had. Because I feel like you were in the middle of 2 people who were arguing with each other all the time. Tell me about the sun. Why is the sun in reverse? The sun in reverse, please. I feel like there's still more healing to do because the sun in reverse to me is the moon. So I feel like there's still more healing to do. But I feel like, look, you've done so much. Give yourself a break a little bit, right? It's not always about the healing. Not always. You can't keep doing the healing, 24/7. That would make you a little nuts, right? Tell me about the sun. We've got the 4 of Wands, the Justice card, and the Empress. Look, it makes your home life so much better. I want to say that if you have children, you connect to your children better. And knowing the self is so freaking important when you have children. And not all of us know who we are before we have kids. In fact, most of us don't. It's the children that are our mentors and our teachers. And they're the ones who teach us how to be a parent. Otherwise, people who don't have children don't know how to parent. They think that they do because they have nieces and nephews, dogs and cats. But they don't know how to parent. And that's the truth of it. Until you have those doors that are open in your head because you become a mother or a father, you just don't have the knowledge, right? And not everybody wants to have kids. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying that with the sun here, I feel like it feels like that it makes home life better. It gives you stability in your home, with your kids, you're far more happy. It's an exciting home. And we do have the Justice card. And it tells me that you have balance. The truth comes out. You have stability. Now you're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and it's making your family stronger. It's making your stability stronger. It's building your foundation, right? And it's because you've become the Empress. Look, spend some time by yourself and get yourself a good psychologist. You will become the Empress in 5 years, like a little lickety split. The Empress energy is wisdom, and that's what you get when you're in the Hermit energy. Look, this is such a beautiful reading. We do have the Three of Pentacles. Look, you've learned that you need to find new people, that you need to find people for yourself, like a tribe, but you need to find a community that's stable and sturdy and moves slow, and people who are responding to life and not reacting to it, because when you're in that kind of trauma, you end up reacting to life, right, for a lot of it, and that's like fighting and arguing, and you're just wrapped up in this whole wounded thing, right, until you can actually fix it. So look, there's some pretty beautiful stuff coming up in the future for those of you who are heavily engaged in doing all this work. First of all, you're a badass because the Empress is here. Look, you go from this place of a child wound, being orphaned, to the Empress. Like, that's some pretty badass energy. I want to say that nothing stops you, because the King of Wands is resilient, walking through fire, and the Queen is stable and sturdy, and money is good, and I've got a business, or I'm working for a business that pays me well, but it's moving slow, being dependable. This is what you've learned, and guess what the prize is at the end? It's that you get this beautiful, deep soul connection with somebody because you've unwound. Oh, Charlie's showing me a ball of elastics. Did you ever do that as a kid? Oh, God. Charlie brings up all the things from my childhood. And it would start out with like a small tinfoil ball. If you did that, right? It would start out as a small tinfoil ball, then you would wrap elastics around it, and sometimes they would get really big. And so I feel like you're untangling things. That's what you're doing here. But coming up in the near future here, I feel like you are resilient and stable, and so that brings you this lover. Tell me about the lover, please. We do have somebody here that is going to choose you. We do have the Hanged Man energy. You're waiting. We've got the Queen of Wands. And we have the I don't even know how these fell out. We'll just take them as they are. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Three of Cups in reverse. So I want to say that this person comes along when you are, I feel, just out of a relationship, or have decided finally that you're like, I've decided finally that I don't want to be in a relationship. Just going to get that down here a little bit. You can see that we have the three of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. It's like somebody is like, you know what, I'm happy. I'm really happy. I don't need a relationship. And that is usually the time when you turn your back on it and you say, you know what, I'm just going to work on my own happiness. I'm just going to work on being happy and single. Those are nines, right? And I feel like as you do that, the Queen of Wands arrives. That's what it feels like. Feminine or masculine, the Queen of Wands arrives. It's like you're in this energy of the Hanged Man, where you're surrendering to the universe, you're listening to your intuition, you are happy now, and I feel like you've decided, look, I don't really need a relationship, and pow, that's when it shows up. And it shows up with the Tower. So it could be somebody who is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, possibly Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be someone who is a Gemini, a Libra, a Taurus. We've got Scorpio here as well. We've also got Virgo, Libra again. So I feel like somebody here is, I feel like you're on a new path. You're on a new path because you noticed it and you decided you don't want to fight within the self anymore. You've decided it's time to close the door. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I'm going to leave it right there, Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you. Gosh, this is really beautiful. I'm going to go for now, my bull gang, but I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys know it, and I love you. Bye-bye.